PETA is accusing SeaWorld of infiltrating their organization in an effort to discredit them, which I find kind of interesting because PETA has done things in the past to discredit themselves. But nonetheless, of course, they are very much against SeaWorld. The movie that came out a few years ago, Blackfish, shows you exactly why SeaWorld has been dealing with a lot of criticism. It's because of the way they treat their employees, the way they treat their killer whales. It's a terrible situation. But nonetheless, SeaWorld is not fond of PETA, so they thought, all right, well, why don't we get someone to go into the organization and then rile them up, make them get really aggressive and do things that are illegal. So in a statement on Tuesday, the Norfolk, Virginia-based animal rights group said SeaWorld had become so upset that it deployed one of its human relations employees to masquerade as an activist, sending him on undercover missions at protests and organizational meetings in California. So according to the reports, apparently he tried to rile people up. Most insidiously, he has repeatedly tried to incite people who object to SeaWorld to act illegally, stating that it's time to get a little aggressive.
Well, can you really blame SeaWorld if you care about profits, right? Because the company's stock fell 50% after the movie Blackfish that Anna was just talking about, right? Wow, that's going to hurt the big guy. Yep. And so they must have had some internal meetings like, we're going to go mount up, man. Let's get the sons of bitches. And they hatched this plot. They probably thought it was really clever.
Look, SeaWorld's got to go. I know that they want to save their business, but I feel like we've moved past situations where we hold animals in captivity for human entertainment.
I don't think we moved past it at all. I was never that in favor of it. As a kid, never went to a zoo. I mean, it's not like that was my choice. My parents never took me. No, that's not why I'm bitter against zoos. No, yeah, when I look through a zoo and I'm like, they're in a cage, they're in a cage, they're all in a cage. This is obviously not their natural environment. The cages are not that large. You know, you have the sea life. I mean, just going like this and this and this all day long in a 100-foot place. Now, in the case of SeaWorld, they train them to do things. They say they take great care of them. I don't know the truth to either side. I can't judge that whole industry. And I don't begrudge the people that do, who care deeply about these animals, right? But as a society, we are clearly not past it. People love the zoos, no matter what I think or what PETA thinks.
Yeah, I get
They
that.
love things like this. They like being able to see the animals. And then, of course, a lot of zoos do wonderful things as well, and they contribute to wildlife, and that's the justification that they use, and it is educational. So I think that it's a tough issue. I don't love it. I get people who do love it, but as a society, no way we're past it.
Yeah, people do like zoos, but I think that there is more and more momentum in the anti-zoo, anti-animals in captivity camp. And the reason why I say that is because you do have documentaries like Blackfish getting a lot of attention, and you do have people who are no longer willing to go to places like SeaWorld. So I know it's a slow process, but it's a steady process, and I think eventually we're going to get to a point where we're no longer going to hold animals in captivity just for human entertainment. I know that there are some, animal reserves, or there are some organizations that genuinely do care about these animals, and they're not just holding them in captivity for human entertainment. But the vast majority of things like circuses and SeaWorld and all these amusement parks that are centered around animals do it for human entertainment, and that's wrong.
And honestly, I don't even know I don't know the backstory. I don't know if they treat their animals better or worse, but at least places like, I know it's a goofy example to use, but Great Adventure in New Jersey, where I grew up, has like a safari where they're not in a cage. It's a large piece of land, and you drive by the animals, and at least they have some chance to strike back at you and murder you. Right, so, and it's New Jersey. I mean, you could go to the haunted house and it could burn down. There are gangs at Great Adventure, and the lion could eat you. Okay, but at least the guy's got a fighting chance. I feel a little bit better about it.
I don't like that.
But they're not in a cage. They get to roam around.
I know.
Sometimes a monkey will jump on top of your car. It's kind of badass.
I like monkeys. Monkeys are cool.
Until they rip your face off.
Yeah, okay, then I don't like that. Anyway, but we do want to know what you guys think. So we asked you a question on our TYT poll related to this story. The question was, SeaWorld is being accused of infiltrating and spying On animal rights groups, should the show go on or is it time to wave goodbye? So far, 84% of you have said it's time to wave goodbye.
Wow, I'm surprised by that, the strength of that.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, we have a liberal audience who understand the issue here, so I'm not surprised that you guys are against organizations like SeaWorld. But we'll see if that translates into policy later in the future.
All right, well, you guys will decide. The voting has just begun, so forward.